Last week, we ventured north to Kettle Creek State Park. In this episode, we will conclude our Kettle Creek adventure with a remote waterfall, more overlooks, and a look at the Alvin R Bush Dam.
Well, good afternoon, friends. We're here at Saturday. Right now we're about to go on a hike to try to find one of the most remote waterfalls in Pennsylvania. So, would have liked to have done this hike this morning, but since today is the first day of turkey season, I thought it best not to be in the woods this morning, especially up here where there's a ton of turkey hunting going on. But all we have to find right now is GPS coordinates to the parking area, and then I have GPS coordinates to the falls itself. We're just really kind of hoping that we can find this. Allegedly, it's a well-traveled trail and should be pretty easy to find and follow. So we'll see when we get there. I've done a lot of research, and so I think I know where we need to go.
Let's get going before he starts screaming.
Okay.
We've got a ticking time bomb in the car seat here.
I should point out that where we're going is not exactly close to Kettle Creek State Park, although where we're going isn't close to anywhere, which is kind of the point. I'm not sure if there's a better place to use as a base to get there or not. Maybe Cinemahoning, but it's, probably only going to save you a few minutes. And of course, the remoteness of this, we're going to be on some dirt roads here. I think we're about there anyhow. Right now we're crossing over the Susquehanna, and looks like we're kind of headed into the backcountry, I'd say. But there's a couple of blogs on the internet that I've used to find GPS coordinates to the parking area and to the falls, and there is another YouTube video on it, although they don't really tell you exactly how to get there. But what I'm hoping is that we can find the trailhead. That's the main thing I'm concerned about. We're going to try to give you the most accurate, way to get there. And of course, we're coming from the north. We just came through the village of Keating, and we're currently on Keating Mountain Road. And I'll put the GPS coordinates that I have too for the parking area in the description, and I'll probably also flash them on the screen right now. So right now we're still on Keating Mountain Road. It's a fairly bumpy ride. This is what we're looking at ahead of us. If you have the ability to air down your tires and get them back up afterwards, that's probably your best bet for this kind of thing. It's a pretty bumpy ride, but I don't think my 12-volt compressor is going to get us up to where we need to be fast enough for my liking. So we're just going to keep going with what we've got. But looks like we're 11 miles from our destination, so it's a long way into the backwoods of northern Pennsylvania. Friends, just some crazy things you find up in the mountains. Here's a cemetery. It looks actually like it's very well maintained, and the most recent grave marker I can see is someone who died in 1992. Right now, friends, we're still on Keating Mountain Road, although we're about to turn off of it. You can see where the road curves just right there. And we're going to be making that right-hand turn, and we'll keep on going. The road is bumpy. I would not suggest bringing a car up here, but most crossover SUVs should be fine on this road. I don't believe I've yet mentioned the name of the waterfall that we're going to see, but it is Round Island Run Falls. And right now, we're turning off of Dutchman Road, making a right onto Round Island Ridge Road. According to the GPS, this sign right here just calls it Round Island Road. And so, hopefully the trailhead should just be right off of this road somewhere. We're going to look for signage, and the GPS should be taking us to a parking area of sorts. So we will let you know when we get there what we find and how easy it is to find. So friends, we've reached the trailhead about a quarter of a mile ahead of what the GPS says for the parking area. And there is a small pull-off just here where somebody else already is, and you know, because we've got kids and stuff, we're just going to pull off here too, because there's plenty of room. But if you just keep going, I'm sure that the parking area that the others mentioned is up ahead somewhere. But if there's parking here, might as well use it. So friends, it looks like we have reached what looks to be Round Island Run, which is just a small stream. But you know, things on the internet, if you can find it on the internet, they're not hidden. It's hard for me to call this a hidden gem because we've already crossed paths with quite a few people on the trail. But having said that, it's also probably the most beautiful day of the year so far. I mean, you just can't ask for better weather. You can't ask for a better weekend than what we've had so far. Lily can, though. This poor dog here, she despises being in the back, and Rachel and Sarah are up ahead. Plus, it's the afternoon. If you want solitude, you know, probably best to see this in the morning. But so far, and we haven't walked very far, so far the scenery is just awesome. So friends, when I originally read about this trail, you can sort of see in the background there's a power line. And one of the blogs I was reading about the trail mentioned walking down the power line. And so I'm wondering if the parking area GPS coordinates I had took you down a ways and then you would find the power line and walk down it and come down essentially this trail that's right here. It comes right down behind me like that. But I think as this has become more of a widely known place, and from what I understand and from what I've read and seen, it's spectacular. And of course, I already gave you guys a sneak peek of it, so you've already seen it in the beginning of the video. I don't know, it's like a mile-long trail, and we haven't really been walking that far, so we could have a ways to go yet. So friends, this is really cool here, and I think it's something I've never quite seen before. But if you look over there, the water actually flows down, around, and somehow does like a U-turn and comes back. That's just really cool. And this whole stream, it's just cascade after cascade. And there's even another one here behind me. And I believe that this very small stream here flows down into the Susquehanna, the West Branch, which we crossed over when we got onto Keating Mountain Road at the bottom. And you know, from what I've looked at on maps and such, you know, it just took forever to get here because you've got to kind of go, well, you got to go slow for one thing, and you're traveling up the mountain basically to the top to be able to see this. But Round Island Run flows into the Susquehanna not far from where we were. So friends, I don't know if you can see behind me, but this forest is full of hemlocks. But walking here on the trail, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, if the camera will pick it up or not, but I seen a branch laying on the ground. And you can see the bugs. They're called a woolly adelgid, I believe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's essentially killing all the hemlock trees unless you treat for them. It's very easily treatable, but as far as like treating a whole forest, I don't think that's really possible. But anyway, let me turn the camera around because we got some other stuff to discuss here. Friends, here you have a decision to make. You take the high water trail or the low water trail. I'm not sure what the difference is, and it's not something I've ever really read anything about. It looks like we are going to go up first, and then, you know, we might end up doing both. We'll just let you know. Friends, if you're sick of us hiking through tunnels or rhododendrons, I do apologize, but the next camping video that we do, where we're headed back to West Virginia, should be a totally different type of thing. Back just a ways on the trail, there's a path that leads down and a rope or like cable-like thing that you can climb down to get to the waterfall directly. That's not really in our wheelhouse currently. I didn't really know that there was a way around that. I was sort of prepared that we could find a way to make it work. However, it looks like the trail continues down, and then we just got to backtrack a little bit to get to it. So we're almost there, and we'll be with you shortly. I believe that walking past the waterfall on this trail actually leaves you with no way to get to the waterfall, like I thought maybe that it did. Don't let that stop you from keeping going on the trail. The stream remains pretty. What surprises me is the signage along this whole trail has been very good so far. And then where the main waterfall is, if you didn't know what you were looking for, you'd miss it totally. So that's where we're trying to go find now, is the main waterfall, and we got to figure out a way to get all of us down there. And I doubt the camera's going to pick it up, but you can clearly see there's old logging roads over on the other side. So that's what made me believe maybe this went down and there was a bridge or something and you could get over there and walk up to the falls. But the trail that we were on is marked with yellow blazes, and as you can see, there are no more yellow blazes. So that's what leads me to believe that we've gone past it. When we get down to the falls, we'll let you know if there's some other way or some other path. But this is a true exploration here. We haven't came here with any prior knowledge of this place other than what I've read online. Okay, so totally missed what we were looking for. This marker here shows you that you're supposed to make a left-hand turn here. The logging road does continue. We did go down quite a way, and definitely I would recommend it. It's very pretty down there. Over here, you've got more yellow blazes, which shows that the trail goes down there. The cable that I was referring to that helps you climb down is back there a little ways. And, you know, when I did some reading, it looked to be the only way. But definitely, it's hard to see. Doesn't surprise me that we missed it. But definitely take a look out on the right for this tree here with the yellow L on it. And like I said, the signage has been better than expected on this trail because I really didn't expect any of it. And I just sort of thought we'd be walking aimlessly through the woods. So it's surprising to me that they don't have a more visible sign right here. So why then, friends, would I drag you to a waterfall in the middle of nowhere, drive all this way, hike all this way, go through all the unknowns, drag the kids here? Why would we do that? Well, this is why, friends. This is why we're here. Because you can get behind this one.
Okay everyone, we just got back up to the top to the trail to head out to the truck. That was a really beautiful waterfall. I was not expecting it to be quite so beautiful. This whole hike has reminded me of New York. I'm not sure which hike in New York. Friend says check out the Ithaca video. But that's the kind of vibe I got on this trail. It was well worth the extremely bumpy road and the hike down here. You can go down, have a nice little picnic, hang out for a while. I'd even come down on a hot summer day and go swimming over the falls or splash around in the water. It's gorgeous. We're gonna head back to the truck and get back to the camper and start working on some dinner.
So friends, Round Island Run Falls was awesome and we really liked it, but we're back here now at Kettle Creek frying up some French fries right here. And over here on the old charbroil we got some T-bone and Delmonico, and you just can't beat cooking watching this view. Sarah's over there with all her new friends at the old playground, and so it's just a perfect evening and we got all kind of good stuff going on. Friends, you thought this video was over, but you'd be wrong. Right now we're here. We're using our small and nimble rig and setup to the fullest extent on this journey. And we just decided to pull off here at the, what is it, Alvin R. Bush?
Alvin R. Bush Dam.
Yeah. We're at the Alvin R. Bush Dam, which is what creates the Kettle Creek Reservoir. It's used as a flood control dam to protect everything, you know, below it the whole way to Harrisburg on the Susquehanna. Because Kettle Creek, right down where we were yesterday, flows into the Susquehanna. It says in 1936 there was a devastating flood. That's also the time when Johnstown flooded, but obviously it would have been the same rainstorm because it was St. Patrick's Day. But in Renova, which is below here on the Susquehanna, $750,000 in damage, and after that is when Congress stepped in and they built this dam up here. So it's, you know, its primary purpose is for flood control. That's why you can see they keep the lake level low. It's here for recreational purposes as well, and obviously it's a great place to take your boats out. We've kayaked on here before, but then, you know, you can see how much capacity it's got as it relates to flood control. And it's a pretty impressive structure. Sarah's looking for signs because I told her we were coming here to read signs.
Good job, Sarah.
This here is the spillway. So if it reaches a point where the tunnels underneath can no longer keep up, you know, the spillway will keep the dam from disappearing, essentially. And we've been up here where like the lower road and stuff of the campground is flooded. Right there, that's the campground we were just at. That's the upper campground here at Kettle Creek where our site was. One other thing to note is the dump station is down by the lower campground, so that's where we're headed currently. We gotta go dump our tanks. but just wanted to stop here, and because this is a spectacular place to get a good view. And even if you had a bigger rig, I mean, there's plenty of parking here, but I just can't get enough of this place. Typically we don't rush out of Pennsylvania state parks, but today it was supposed to start raining at 11. It hasn't quite started yet. You can tell it's coming, so we did pack up early. Otherwise we could have probably done something this morning, but luckily for us we have the heaviest baby in the world, so we're getting sick of carrying him around. At some point here he's got to start walking.
He's got to sit up first, but
anyway, what do you have to say about Kettle Creek State Park?
I was here a couple years ago with my parents and really enjoyed it, and I knew that Ryan would like it, so we finally got back here, and he liked it, so I think we're definitely gonna be coming back with the kids. It's
probably my new favorite campsite. With a view of the lake like that, you just can't beat it. I was talking about how small our rig is. You know, we are looking at bigger rigs, and so this campground won't be available to us if we get anything bigger than 31 feet. And there's only one site with electric that's capable of that, but there are some sites without power where you can fit a bigger rig, but they don't have the lake view. As long as we have this 26 footer, we're going to take full advantage of it and do everything that you need a small and nimble rig to do. But this isn't the first place where we've gotten in because of the size of our rig. So it's definitely got its advantages, but then there's also some disadvantages with 4 of us and 2 dogs. But in a couple weeks we'll be camping again in West Virginia. Totally different type of episode. So, you know, if you're getting sick of this type of stuff, we're doing something totally new and exciting in West Virginia. A little bit of technical stuff in between camping trips here too, but it's going to be good coming up. So we'll see you in just a few weeks. Friends, you probably keep thinking this video is over, and once again, you would be incorrect. We're back up on the mountain at 144. It's raining currently, so I don't know what the rules are as it relates specifically to this spot and boondocking. I'm sure we're good just to stop here for a quick lunch, but it'd be cool if you could. And this spot specifically is the Burns Run overlook, and it's definitely worth a stop. I don't know if I've ever stopped at this one. We've always stopped at the Fish Dam Run that we took you to, and the other one that I mentioned earlier, Field Ridge or whatever it's called. But this would be cool. I mean, I'll have to look into it, see if it's on. There's a website which I linked in the last video, I believe, with all kinds of free camping options in Pennsylvania, and this may be on that list. And of course, you know, it's in the state forest, so I don't know. I can't see anyone giving you a hard time if you decided to boondock here for a couple nights or something. And you could spend a lot of time up on this mountain. There's a lot of roads and things you could drive around and explore, and hiking trails, I'm sure too. But it's a cool spot.